So in the equation y equals ax, so this is the equation for direct variation. So if I say find the equation of direct variation, that's what I'm asking for. But you're finding a value for a, and it's always a proportion. So if I said y equals 3x, then your proportion or the relationship between y over x would always be 3. So your slope is 3. So a is just essentially your slope, but it's also a fancy way that we now call it the constant of variation. But it's essentially the same thing as your slope. That's all that it is. Direct variation is a linear equation that goes through the origin. That just means that your y-intercept is 0, 0. So it's going to start at 0, 0 and then increase or decrease from there. So to find your value a, like if I were solving for this a value, I'm going to divide each side by x. So I'm going to divide y over x. So a is always equal to y over x. And that is my constant of variation. So if we look at number 1, it says write a direct variation equation that goes through -4, 8. So my first step is I want to solve for a, and a is y over x. So a is 8 over -4, which reduces to -2. So that is my a value, but it's wanting us to write the direct variation equation. So your final answer will be y equals -2x. And all that I did was I substituted this -2 for a. So super simple. The only thing that I see that happens on tests and quizzes and things is that they forget to write it as a final answer. They don't write this equation as the final answer. So that would be my final answer, not -2. So number 2, write the direct variation equation that goes through 3, -9. So a equals y over x. So -9 over 3 reduces to -3. So my final answer would be what? Y equals -3x. Good. So you get a equals y over x. So that would be 3 over 5. So my final answer is y equals 3 over 5x. So when you have a chart like this and it asks you to determine if it models a direct variation, you are checking the proportion of y over x. So for all of these, I'm going to take my y value and I'm going to divide by my x value. So a equals y over x. I want to get the same proportion for every single number. So you might need to use your calculator for this because I don't know what 215 over 1.8 equals. So somebody put that in their calculator and tell me what you get. What decimal?
119.4.
Okay, so 119.4. I'm going to do the next one, and I need to get 119.4 in order for it to be a direct variation. So I'm going to take 290 over 2.4. Something tells me it may not be the same. 120.8. Okay, so automatically not the same. And you could keep going, but it's going to tell you that it's not the same. They have to be exactly the same. So since they do not have the same proportion, I would say no, not the same ratio or proportion of y over x. Not the same. So then we look at number 5. Which one is my y value, length or width? Width. So I'm going to take 24 over 1. That just reduces to 24. And then I'm going to do the second one, 12 over 2. That reduces to 6. Not the same. So I'm going to say no. not the same ratio of y over x.